Welcome back to the Deaf Couples Podcast. I'm your host, Dimitri.
And I'm your host, Patrick.
And we have a special guest. His name is not what the fuck is in my mustache, but it's actually my son, Ian. So, Ian's been asking me, when can I be on your podcast? And it was comical because this morning I went into his bedroom to wake him up, and he seemed as if it was going to be one of those moments where he wants to go with us on Saturday to go run errands. And Saturday comes and he's like, no, I'm good.
Is this pretty early for you?
Yeah.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
We're like the AT&T towers, except backwards. Like the middle finger. His head's like way up top and ours is down low. Well, let's kick it off with Fatherhood Unscripted. Patrick, if you want to start.
Yeah, I'll go. Non-kid week, other than Raina, which a lot of times I don't even see Raina during the week, especially when she works. So yesterday the kids showed back up.
Whoa. Hey.
Yo.
Did you get a new watch?
No.
What is that?
It's a fucking...
It's a Garmin.
It's not a Garmin.
What is it?
I don't know.
All right, I'll shut up.
Yeah, I've had it for like a month or something.
Fucking look like mine.
Is that a Garmin?
Yeah. So I thought it was the same fucking thing.
No, it's not. It's got a bunch of different bands, but I can't wear metal, so I had to go with the leather one.
So do you go with like pop or R&B?
You're dumb. Anyways, kids got back yesterday, and I just got some one-on-one time doing some yard work with Davis, and I got some one-on-one time with Jackson. He helped cook dinner. He took a bunch of cooking classes last year, and just kind of got more involved, and he's always willing to help out, which is awesome. And then I taught him how to clean the flat top, which makes my life so much easier.
Oh, do you have a Blackstone?
No, it's a Loco.
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's just, it was a little cheaper when they got real popular, and it's electric.
Oh, all right. And it's like a flat top though?
Yeah, with a cover on it and everything.
No shit.
Yeah, I love it. We cook on it quite a bit, almost every weekend.
That sounds nice. I think I want one now.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. They're a pain in the ass to clean, but they're fun to cook on.
Ice. Just put it on high. Throw some ice on there.
Just some bonding time between me and Davis and me and Jackson. It was good.
Nice. What did you guys eat? What did he make?
We made chicken bacon ranch quesadillas, and I made some guacamole, and Jackson made that corn dip that I brought up like 6 or 8 weeks ago. I think we've made it like, it feels like 10 times. We have it almost every weekend.
That good?
It's like crack to me.
All right.
Jackson likes it too. But
yeah.
most everybody likes it. It makes it like 2 days in here.
But it's corn dip.
It's like a Mexican corn dip.
Like a Fiesta corn? Is it like street corn? Like fucking Fiesta.
Yeah. It's cream cheese corn and then a bunch of other shit. Cilantro, jalapenos, tahini.
All right.
That's good.
Fair enough. Does that sound good? I guess my fatherhood unscripted moment would be seeing this kid right here in his blues from the volunteer firehouse. They were doing a Memorial Day parade, and it was a pretty surreal kind of moment seeing the once 5-year-old that I met, like growing up and going and like standing amongst, a bunch of men that are going around and either jumping into buildings and saving people, or just it was just nice to see him there, respectful, giving his full attention. And he was walking. No, he was in a truck, and they're driving down. And Ellie and Ronan were super, super excited to see him, and they're running down, and like I teared up. It was a really proud moment.
That's awesome.
And then he came home and did retarded shit, so fucking wasted it. God. But I love you. I was very proud, man. I'm proud of the person you're becoming.
Thank you.
Except for when you do dumb shit. Which, you know, in his defense, in your defense, the dumb shit that you do is really not that dumb. Like some would say, like, I'm just being an asshole. Because the dumb shit I did far outweighs anything that you have done. So, I mean, we were breaking a lot of shit. You haven't broken anything except an Xbox.
That was on accident. It broke on itself, I swear.
It's fucking convenient.
Yeah.
So my computer. Oh, my Xbox broke. Guess I'll have to take this. Guess I have to take this computer. All right. Well,
I know you're not a father, Ian, but what's your fatherhood unscripted?
I guess. I can't think of anything right now.
think about a moment this week that anything that kind of like, is it either like me yelling too much, me not yelling enough, you being wrong, me being right. You know, let's start there, or vice versa.
I guess today, because it's pretty special being on the podcast that you and Dad do.
Okay, that's awesome. And we're happy to have you.
We are happy to have you. If you forget his name, right by his picture. Yeah. we are very happy to have you. I'm very happy to have you.
I got my first question. Have you watched every episode, Ian?
No, I have not.
Did you watch last week's?
No.
All right, spoiler alert. Your dad said he would kill you if you turned into a zombie.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he didn't even hesitate.
Nope.
I said I would lock my kids in.
Patrick said? Yeah. Yeah, he'd fucking lock his kids in a dungeon.
And I said I already do that.
Yeah. So they're already zombies if you didn't know that. Yeah, you know what's funny? I even told you, hey, this week we talked about like zombies, and I was like hinting that you should like watch it, and I said you should watch it, and you're like, well, watch it, and then Patrick asked you the question. No,
I did not. Nope.
Is the reason you don't watch the episodes anymore is because we make fun of you for listening to your mom at Mortal Kombat?
No.
And how the hell did that happen?
I don't know. Guess the cards were in her favor.
Yeah, well, now he gets to babysit tonight, so me and the wife can go and have dinner.
Either way, I had to babysit. Mom just worded differently.
Well, anyway, listen.
Now you're not getting paid to do it.
Well, he wasn't going to get paid anyway.
So either way, I lose.
I'll pay you the Monopoly money. It's a win-win. You get to spend quality time with your brother and sister. And what's better than that? So many things. All right. Well, Patrick, I'll let you kick it off because I think when Logan was on, did I start with a question? I think you probably got some good ones.
Yeah, so I got a couple. Well, I guess first and foremost, when did you realize that, like, trying to think how to word this, like when did Dimitri become like an actual father figure to you?
Um, I think it wasn't until later in my life because when we first met, I kind of saw him as like a friend. Um, but then later down the line, when all this stuff happened with my dad, and I kind of just moved in with uh, them. That it was like probably when I was like, I think 7 or 8,
You were five. You were 5.5.
five
You
and a
moved
half,
in December, so you were
and
6 years old.
6 years old.
So you're 2 years
And
late.
I guess like when around there, yeah, it's like when I started seeing that he was my father figure.
Nice. What's your um well, I guess that's the next question is how have you seen him like change since, I mean, it's hard to remember when you were 6, I'm sure, but like over the course of the last couple of years and then having Ellie and Ronan, how have you seen him change?
Um, I'd say he's I I can't remember like much has changed, but I guess like he's more direct with what he wants to say instead of beating around the bush. A lot
Nice.
more direct.
A lot more direct.
I think I've always been pretty direct, though. I think there's, yeah, I think it gets a little bit easier. Um, and the premise of this episode is kind of like being a dad, but also being a stepdad in the same light. Um, and I think in most relationships, there's that beginning part of it where you're not only testing the boundaries that you have for yourself, you know, getting into that relationship and now being a part of somebody else's child's life to, well, this is now my child in my eyes. So you kind of have to balance on the blade because on one end, you might upset the mom or the dad, whatever you are in your relationship. Um, so sometimes it's kind of hard to speak kind of directly and very clear with what you're expecting and want. I think until you get further into relationships, and I think that's a comfort level that you as a parent have to get into.
Yeah, for sure. I think like I'm still struggling with it a little bit. Just being a step parent is it can be very challenging um, when they're not your kids.
Well, and it's hard when you have to make um, like in our situation, it was it was very challenging because you don't want to dismiss certain aspects, but at the same time, you kind of have to. You're kind of forced into it in moments where you might not agree with things, but for the sanctity and the well being of that child, you have to. And then sometimes you have to speak up, but then you get fucking yelled at. And then, you know, Ian, like you've said, when you were younger, you get upset and say, "You're not my dad." And I think you've only had said that like 3 or 4 times out of just being a kid and being mad in a situation. And it was different because when me and your mom met, your dad kind of came back into that picture right in that moment. A couple, like I think it was 6 months or so. So right around the time that we moved in.
Well, and that other part, at least from a father's perspective, is, and I mean this, I guess, in the most, like women are just more nurturing, right? So they're
Yeah.
more coddling, and it comes across sometimes as a father that you're being cold, but for me personally, it's not about being cold. It's about teaching life lessons and getting people to, or getting my kids to be responsible for themselves. Where a
Yeah.
mom, I feel like, wants to do everything for their kids, but they're not learning shit when that happens. So, as a step parent, it becomes very challenging. Like when it's your own kids, that's a little bit easier argument to have with your spouse. But when it's not your kids, it's challenging.
Yeah, like if I kicked Ronan and Ellie off like the porch and said, "Spread your wings and fly," that'd be a conversation where like, "Babe, it's okay. Don't worry about it." Now, if she came home and I kicked you off the porch, there would be questions like, "Why?" I was trying to make him spread his wings and fly. My screen went black, so I can't see shit right now. Fantastic.
Well, it's working. We can
It
still
is
hear you.
working. I'm glad Mike didn't go out. Just the screen, so I have to bob and weave here.
So so that's my next question too. Ian, do you feel that Dimitri is softer on Ellie and Ronan than he was on you?
He's very unbiased when it comes to that. He's he treats everyone pretty equally.
I was not expecting that. Uh,
Yeah. Fuck you, dude.
no, hold on. I wasn't expecting Ellie to get the same treatment as. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be consistent, but your your daughter probably holds a special spot in your heart. At least that is for me. And I try to be consistent as well, but Evelyn tugs on my heartstrings more than the boys do.
Um, I guess there's moments of it, but at the end of the day, so there's a couple of things that I try to stand by like very strongly in our home, and if everyone's arguing about something, I'm like, well, then nobody gets to partake. I was like, I'm so fair sometimes that it's unfair. And like that's I Ian's probably heard that so many times, and sometimes it works out in their favor, and sometimes it doesn't. But I Ellie does some things that definitely like yeah, like say pulling your heartstrings. I mean, Ian does the same thing, and so does Ronan. I think I just don't really care. Like I care more about what's going to happen down the line than I do necessarily today. And sometimes that's kind of a fallacy in my mindset because I'll miss out on certain things and experiences and emotions and what they're like going through because I'm too preoccupied with, hey, listen, you guys don't want to fucking do math or you guys don't want to read, you don't want to play the piano, which in their defense, none of them wanted to play piano. I just have 5 pianos in the house now, so people are gonna fucking learn.
Everybody gets their own.
Everybody gets their own. Um, I think I just I want them to be so absolutely incredible, and they are absolutely incredible kids. Ellie is her mouth, man. So sometimes I wish I had like like a button that just like disappears her mouth so she could just calm down for a while, and then like I'll give her mouth back when she's calm. And like can you imagine that? That's a fucking button and it's just gone.
Like
Um,
click.
is it like click? Yeah.
You can mute her.
Well, yeah. No. I just what's that movie? Um, there's a movie where I think maybe it was Deadpool 3 where the chick literally gets rid of his fucking mouth and it's just flat.
Oh, that's the one Marvel
It's
movie with
Wolverine.
Scarlet.
Did she get rid of Wolverine's mouth?
Oh.
It was the guy that if he talks normally, Black Adam. There we go.
Oh, I've never
No,
seen that one.
Deadpool, dude.
Yeah.
Black Adam.
So
Dude, this
it's
guy's talks
Ryan
all the time.
Reynolds as Weapon X. They sew his mouth
Oh,
shut.
yeah. There
And
you
it's
go.
Wolverine from like the early 2000s
Yeah. Yep. Well,
before he becomes Deadpool.
yep. So, all right. Well, I guess that I hope that answers the question of why I want to be fair, and I do want to treat everybody equally, especially like I'll talk a lot of shit. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, if something's wrong, it's wrong, whether they agree with it or not, or even if I agree. And I don't like admitting that I'm wrong, but I do, and I'll come into his room and I'll say, "Hey, dude, I'm sorry," or when I apologize and I see that he's not really like receiving it, then I dig deeper. Then I realize I'm like, why the fuck am I apologizing? You should be apologizing. You were wrong. And then we have a heart to heart. And I cherish those moments, just so you know, Ian. I really do enjoy him.
Do you give him a little bit more leniency because he's a teenager, at least? Like freedom, I guess.
Um, like what?
Screen time.
Yeah. He's literally non-existent.
Did they put a bathroom in your room yet, Ian? So you
Not
didn't have
yet.
to leave?
Just a bucket.
Well, you
Yeah, he
better
forgets to
fucking
empty out.
sharpen your Mortal Kombat skills because, man, that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
I've gotten better.
He has gone better. He'll come downstairs and partake. But yeah, screen time. He I think I am lenient with him in different aspects. Um, he obviously doesn't have to watch Cocomelon.
I don't even know what that is.
There's that. Nobody watches Cocomelon anymore. That was when the kids were like babies, and if I was getting them to sleep, I would be singing nursery rhymes for the next like 2.5 hours. I became a pro. What other kind of leniency?
I just like maybe a little bit more freedom. Like you're not.
That's for you, Ian.
I mean, he lets me pretty much walk and bike anywhere that's around town, as long as it's during the day.
What's your curfew?
On the weekdays it's 10 p.m., but on weekends I can stay up as long as I want.
As long as he's not being loud.
Yeah.
Because if he's being loud, then I'll just turn off the internet.
From your bed
Yeah,
or from wherever you want.
yeah. It's fucking. I love the power.
Did you watch the interview with my son, Ian?
Yeah, I watched a bit of it.
That was when we talked about this last, because Logan said, "Don't give me any ideas."
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, he gets kind of free reign. As long as he's not doing anything dumb and harmful, which he's not. Like I say, he's a damn good kid, man. When I was his age, me and my friends were out smoking weed and fucking skateboarding in places we shouldn't, breaking lights. Like we were just, we went through a whole entire time period where we were shitting in places just to fucking be assholes. Like me and my buddy James, we'll have him on at some point. Like we're shitting in bushes, no reason. It was like a week thing of, hey, let's see how many places we could shit that we shouldn't.
That's
We
just
got kicked
weird.
out of this place and we shit
You
on their
were.
doorstep on their business.
Well, you can't even do that now with cameras everywhere. I mean, you can, but you're going to get caught.
Can't do anything now.
I mean, that's also valid.
Mm-hmm. But he's a good kid, man. Smart, very respectful. He's not retarded.
Thanks for clarifying that. Well, so I had some other questions, not necessarily related to Dimitri, but just in general, like the volunteer firefighter. Is that something you want to do, like long term?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was originally doing it for my hours for NHS, but right now I've been liking it, and they've given me so much, so I was like, why not?
NHS is National Honor Society.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Good job. So you had to volunteer for something and this is what you picked and now you're starting to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Have you had to, you have like are you allowed to go fight a fire or do you still have like a ton of more training you have to do?
So I'm allowed, basically as a cadet, what I can do is support the firefighters. So that's putting down all the equipment on the scene. That's helping them put up hose lines and straighten out hose lines and all that stuff. Roll
Raising
up
all the
hose
hose.
lines. Yeah.
Okay. So you can't go into a burning building, but you can give them their tools and stuff that they need to go into a burning building.
Yeah.
And
When I'm
that is
18 and I
because you're a
have
cadet, but doesn't have anything to do with your age, or does it?
It does.
yeah, it does have to do with my age. Once I'm 18 and have my structure fire certification, then I can actually go inside of a burning building.
Got it. How many hours did you need? And like, have you got them and you're still doing it, or do you still have a bunch more hours to do?
I have made my hours. The funny thing is, when I was when we were when I turned in my last hours, she said you're 1 hour behind to meet the quota, and I was like, okay. So it was like last minute. We did a. It was like, what was it? It was before the Memorial Day parade. It was some sort of. Oh, there we go. It was hose line training, and that met quota.
Got it. So you're essentially done, but you're going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, for another week until it comes back.
Oh yeah. Because you're here for 2 weeks
Yeah.
in Colorado.
And then when it's fall, the chief is gonna set me up for the fire academy in New York.
So
In New York, is that what you said?
okay. York.
In York.
Oh, in York, PA.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Were you
So
going to say something, Dimitri?
I was. So I was gonna kind of go into So I'm sure that there's people that are, or there's kids, Ian, and that are in similar situations as you were and are, where they have, you know, parents separate. They either have a new dad or a new mom that they kind of have to adjust. And like, what's that experience? What's that experience like on your end? If there's any kids that are listening that have things going on in their life, what can you tell them about your experience? And not everybody's is going to be the same. Like good, bad,
Uh,
ugly.
it was very scary. Um, and my situation may be a lot different from others, but um, I still have in contact with my dad, and we I go there for the summer and stuff like that. So um, at first, it was just scary and kind of nerve wracking that I'm not gonna see my dad as much as I want to. But even before then, um, my mom and my dad kind of separated when I was pretty much born. So um, when mom was working those the 3 jobs and stuff, I was hanging out at my grandma's, and at that time, my dad was always at work. So I kind of just I don't know. I haven't seen my yeah. I was hanging out with my grandma and stuff, and goes to school. So I think one thing I could say is just try your best to love unconditionally, because your family is your family. You can't really change it. So try to make the best of your situation so that you don't think that you're just, you know, in a bad situation.
So what was the scariest? What was the scariest part? Like, can you tell me what scared you?
Was it his mustache?
Was it my mustache? I didn't have the mustache at the time, so if I did now, you'd probably be fucking more scared. I'd be more scared. But like, it's there's life's not perfect, and it's definitely can be hard. So when you're scared as you're growing up, because your life is changing. What do you think is your number one worry at that time? Like what do you think was your, you have your hopes, and I think I know your hopes at that time, right? You wish that everybody gets back together and life goes on. And I think that's a
Yeah.
normal thought process.
Yeah. Mm, every day when I was a kid, I was like, I wish that my mom and my dad could be back together, or something like that. And also, who is this man sleeping with my mom?
Yeah,
But,
this man right here,
He's a pretty good man.
mhm.
pretty good, but we're not all, and I'm not perfect. There, I have things that are hard to kind of deal with, and it's hard up from a stepfather's point of view, um, because go back to what do you want? Um, yeah, obviously, I want the best for I want the best for you. I want the best for everybody in the situation. Um, so it's a hard thing for and it was a really hard thing for me to balance, trying to be respectful of that, and at the same time want to be there for you and everything that you kind of encounter.
trying to be my new dad.
Well, yeah, it's fucking difficult. It's such a pain in the ass when not only like me and Patrick discussed this, but like we didn't have dads growing up, so we didn't necessarily have the guidance and the playbook to do it. So I was figuring everything out. The first time I met you, one of the first times, you know, it was the first time I ever wiped a kid's ass. It was, and I told Patrick this story. I was like, dude, I'm like, we're in Red Robin, and this fucking stall's open, half the toilet roll's gone, and just people are walking in and out. I'm like, it's cool, dude. He's not my son, and like, you're fucking. It was weird. It was weird. But at that moment,
I don't think that you should have said that.
yeah, I know. It's this,
Oh, Jesus
fucking
Christ.
kid's head between my fucking legs, and I got
Not
toilet
my
paper.
son. You should have
Fucking wiping his
100%
ass.
said it was your son.
Well, now that I have kids, I'm like, that's the first thing I'd expect somebody to say. That's my kid. But that goes to the point of like not knowing and feeling awkward and weird in those situations. And there was, there's a lot of times that I had to bite my tongue, or being adopted. I always wanted to, meet my dad and my mom. And when you have those conversations, I think communication is key. And I think I've tried to have communications with, your dad. I've tried to be respectful as much as I can. I'm no fucking saint. But like when you were younger, we invited them over, and we wanted that. I wanted that connection because, your mom and dad weren't on great terms. I didn't give a shit. I saw how hard it was for you because when I was that age, all I wanted was, send me back to Russia. I want to be back with my family. That's hard, man. So I think you did a really, really good job with yourself, and trying to deal with it with as good as you can.
I don't think you should sell yourself short. You're obviously a big part of that, Dimitri.
Well, I didn't want to fucking say it.
Well, I know. I'll say it for you. Now Ian can say it.
Yeah, you were pretty much a big part of helping me.
Give me an example. So give me a moment in our relationship that you said, you know what, I can kind of trust this guy to be my new dad, or just be that figure in my life that's a father.
I don't know when the exact moment is, but when I remember it is like kind of throughout years, I kind of just built up trust. And when I was a kid, I was just pretty like, if I got kidnapped, I thought I was having a new friend kind of kid. So, um, I guess pretty much like a little bit after I saw my mom, trusting you, it was like, okay, now I see my mom trusting you. I can trust you.
Did I ever let you down?
Um, I can't remember any times that you've like really let me down.
Lost your trust?
Mm.
No.
No.
All right.
What's the best advice Dimitri's ever given you?
Don't be retarded.
Don't be retarded.
He still says it.
Oh, I'm aware.
It's the best advice I could give anybody. And I think there's a deeper meaning to that.
Dude, that video.
Dude, the fucking literally spraying water into what is it fucking
It's a
what the hell is that?
water feeder for
Planter
plants.
water. Yeah. And she's spraying the hose into the top of it as she's holding upside down and it's a nozzle that's spraying everywhere. Like, what are you doing? Don't be retarded. Somebody didn't say that to her because they were trying to protect her feelings.
That
Well,
was
okay.
pretty awesome.
Um. So, all right, I got a question for you, Ian. Um, where, what do you think? What do you think a father is? Like, what do you think the most important qualities of a dad would be? Whether it's dad, stepdad, for anybody out there, because if they're entering, a stepdad position, what are some things and advice that you can give them and like feedback?
Um,
Besides, don't be retarded.
um, I think I think trying to build that trust is essential, and um, trying to show that you always said like I'm not trying to replace your dad, like you, because you can't do that. Um, so just kind of reassure the child that I'm not gonna try to replace your biological dad, but I am gonna try to be like the best role model that you'll ever see in your entire life.
Yeah,
Because for me, my role model is you and my biological dad.
that's good, man. I appreciate it.
Well, and I think that I think you could not in your situation specifically, but there are situations where somebody's stepdad might be their only dad. I mean, it would have been that way for me because my my biological dad was never involved in my life. So, and there was, I was young when that happened, and so my mom's first husband, that's who I thought was my dad, and then I didn't find out till later that he wasn't. But, going back to the conversation earlier, it's pretty wild to think that a guy who grew up with a dad's first experience with a kid wasn't even with his own. Like, I never really thought about it, even though we talked about it. It's pretty
Yeah,
crazy. You did all right,
it's very
Dimitri.
crazy. I think I did all right. I think that he had a lot to do with it, and as he got older, the stress of life compounds on you as a father and just as a man on your shoulders, whether it's work, job, life related, and then having more children on top of that. I think that in the beginning, to Ian's point, I think it was easier to seem like a friend. And I think as like all the stepdads out there, there is a point where you do have to understand that hey, you're not a friend. I'll be there for you no matter what, man. I'll drop everything, get rid of anything. You got it. But there's a point that you have to get to you have to care enough. You have to care enough to not care about the the things that the kids say or the way that they feel. And listen, the whole jealousy aspect of sometimes I wish I was the only dad just to get that experience and get that same like level of attention because it's different. Um, when it's hard. It's hard. It, there's I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it definitely is difficult mentally and emotionally.
Well, and I went through the same thing with August. Like when Deanna and I first started dating, our relationship was more like playful and stuff like that. But then once it turned into more of a long term thing, our relationship's much harder because it's not all fun and games anymore. It's about leading him and teaching him right from wrong. And sometimes I'm wrong when I mean, with him being autistic, it makes it substantially more challenging. It doesn't always register the same way, and so I I don't handle it the way that I should.
Yeah, we get angry, we get frustrated, and from a kid's perspective, you're 16 and there's points where you guys think you know the world, and so listen, if it comes to like space shit, I've always said I'll come to you. Um, but with life experiences and what happens and how you have to conduct yourself, sometimes you just have to stop talking and listen, and that's hard. Not only for you, it's hard as an adult because sometimes we have to stop and listen to the shit that's coming out of our mouths to say, dude, I'm being a straight up asshole right now, and there's no reason for it. What's the hardest thing you've had and dealt with August, Patrick?
Um, Honestly, like especially now, it is a little bit different. But sometimes he will the smallest things will just blow up, and that's when I'm at my worst because it doesn't need to come to this point. I've learned to try to like give him options to avoid those blowups, but I'm very stern and direct in my communication where I'm like,
Yeah,
you're doing this or you're doing this. Those are your options. We're not talking about it. That's what we're doing. And it
yeah,
escalates like crazy. A situation happened yesterday. What was it? Oh no, it was Friday. It was Friday. We were gonna watch TV in the living room, and he was totally fine with watching um, on his tablet. And he's like, "Come turn my tablet on for me, mommy." And so I was like, "No, why don't you grab your tablet and bring it out here?" And it
yeah,
just like, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, where did this come from?"
yeah,
And so, for me, it's simple. You go get your tablet and bring it out here and we turn it on, or you don't have your tablet.
yeah.
But
But then
when you're
there's the balance.
autistic, it doesn't resonate like that. And so it it's hard. It's hard.
I think it's a connection thing too, as well. Because Ronan and Ellie will both like do that. It's it's like you've seen Step Brothers.
Yeah.
All right, when they're at
I
the
came here
when
to fuck shit up.
well, yeah, but when he meets his new mom, and he's like, "Hey, I like to have this, and that in the fridge. Oh, and by the way, I like this, and that." I think as a kid, sometimes there's that kind of connection. Hey, there's so much change in my life right now. Are you still gonna do these things for me? And like,
Jesus. You're taking him camping too?
what?
The water jugs, like they're just they're over the top.
Dude, are you kidding me? That's the best way to do it.
I mean, if you're camping
No.
or if you're
No.
stuck in a zombie apocalypse,
Well, guess what? We're fucking prepared.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Um, well, I mean, I lost my fucking train of thought.
I know. I really
You
screwed
know,
it
it's
up.
like
I'm sorry.
dangerous thing to do.
It is.
No, but I was saying like I think kids look for that connection, and sometimes it's, hey, what are you still willing to do for me? You know, you guys have been together for a long time, but even then, like Ian still would ask his mom like stupid questions of like, hey, would you do this? Like, can you do this for me? And I'm like, dude, stand the fuck up and go do it. And then it's like, you know, there's the mother nurturing aspect of it, like, oh well, it's not the big deal. I can just go do it. Like, no, stand up and go do it. And it's, I think that's just, I mean, I don't know.
It's
Maybe
nature versus nurture.
it is, and I think it's hard, man.
Oh, it ain't that hard.
It ain't that hard.
It ain't that hard from our perspective. And it's not that hard from their perspective to just go do it because they care and love their kids.
It's giving in.
Yeah.
And I think I like it's as a child, I think you have to give in to another person's commands, and that's a hard thing to do, especially if, you know, August is autistic. He's got, you know, his own things that are difficult. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Deanna and I have talked about it too. Like, we have to set him up for success when he's, well, for tomorrow, but
Yeah.
like for his future. So where he's not dependent on other people to do things for him, and he knows how to do those things on his own. And he's high level and he's very intelligent. So
Yeah.
it's just about getting those blow ups to be less and less. And that's part of my struggle, because once that happens, I'm not at my best.
Yeah.
Just because I just don't handle it right.
All right, Ian. I think we got like 10 minutes, 12 minutes. I got one more question for you. If Patrick, you're cool with it, my question
Blink three
is,
times, Ian.
blink 3 times.
Just kidding. I'll call the cops.
So Patrick talks about like exploding. We're like, okay, do I explode? Honestly.
Sometimes it's when like it's when you're in the situation where there's a lot of like that's going on, and you just want some type of quiet, so you just kind of say, hey, like you shout. But I haven't seen you like really explode in a while.
When did I really explode? I'm curious now.
When you explode, it's not like you shouting. It's like you just get angry and you go into like you tell Ellie to go to her room, and then you meet her there and you start just spitting.
Yeah. Start spitting rhymes.
Yeah.
Start going after it,
You
dude.
turn into Eminem.
Yeah. Well, like, give me an example, like with you though. Like, you know, you're 16. There's things that we disagree with. There's clear communication barriers, and I'll say this: when I do explode, I'm usually very quick to just yell somebody to like stop. We're not so pretty, you know, like, and then I want to talk about it because I want to figure out what the hell was going on, like mentally, like with you. You know, when we have our shit, how does it usually end?
You talking to me about both of our feelings.
Well, but am I usually wrong when I talk about your feelings?
No.
No. So sometimes you need that pressure to say, you know what, dude, I don't want to fucking hear what you're saying to me right now, but you won't leave me alone. Like, leave me be. There's a door on this fucking room for a reason. Let me breathe. And I don't let you breathe. And then it just like, I think forceful communication is my parenting style, and that doesn't work for everybody. It probably doesn't work for you guys either. So I apologize. I
Either
love
that, or you kind of word things in a way that
you.
just gets you like nervous.
Well, we talked about that a while back. That
The phrasing.
you say that you put pressure, and there's situations where I think it was our first week of mental health.
Yeah.
I like to ease into it a little bit, but just know that I'm there if my kids do want to talk. And Dimitri's like, nah, fuck that. We're talking right now.
Yeah. Can you attest to that, Ian?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot of value in that.
Oh, I
Because
don't disagree. I think there's a lot of value in letting people think through things too before they have a conversation.
I mean, that's very true.
With me, it works for me because he said it's all about like he forces a communication with me because he knows that I'm having many conversations in my head trying to ration things out. And he's like, no, you talk with your mouth, not with your mind, so that you can actually know how you feel instead of trying to calm your mind down by yourself.
Well, you're a boy, man. There's I got trauma in my head from my experiences in life, and your experiences are different, but at the same time, I think the connection with your dad and some aspects of that being broken in times, the only way for you to find out the answers that you need is to get the questions out and asked. And it's scary. Like it really is, especially when you're looking for something out of somebody and they're not giving you the answers. You kind of have to force the questions. Um, and I see your stress and your anxiety in those situations. And dude, I fucking hate it. I just want you to be okay and ask the questions and just be comfortable. Like that's all I care about at the end of the day is for your connection to whoever it is in life to be as clear and direct as possible so you can be on a level playing field.
All right. Are we ready for the question?
We're ready for it.
All right. I did some research last night.
It's a good one.
Never seen this question before.
All right.
How would you change your life today if the life expectancy was 400 years?
I'm not going to die for 400 years.
You're not going to die for
Dude,
400
I'm
years.
fucking relaxing. I am not going to give a shit about anything. If my kids spill or break something, like they're upset because their feelings got hurt, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride.
That was Mom.
Oh, that was my sign again.
No, I was
Yeah,
thinking that she closed the thing super loudly.
I would relax. I don't think I'd be as worried about pressuring my kids to be perfect or as good as they can be in the first 100 years.
Because they have 5 times that to figure it out.
4 times, 400 years.
Yeah, I think I'd like 400 years. I'll put money in like some type of some type of stock, and I just let it ride for 400 years.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, but then you're gonna die. You can't take money with you.
But
Let it
it'll
ride for
be in my will.
300 years.
300 years, yeah.
That's true.
in the next 100, I could just live life like a millionaire.
You'd be a billionaire, dude.
A billionaire.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, I think investing is a good answer. I mean, I'm already doing that across a bunch of different things. I would continue to focus on my health though, just because I sucked at that for the first 30, and I know that I could fuck it up at any time again. And just, yeah, I think I would still focus on that. I wouldn't change any of that.
I might dig up a fucking T-Rex's bones and figure out a way to create one and make a fucking hybrid of me and a T-Rex.
There's the Dimitri answer I expected.
Fucking baby Rex. Like how people in the lab be like, "Wow, this is incredible. How did this happen?" Well, do you know how you were made? Same fucking way. Same way. And here we go again. I just look at it this way. If you're going to live for 400 years, like I was trying to give a safe answer because I always try to give a safe answer because I'm like, well, these people are probably tired of me saying I'll just do all this dark and twisted shit. But then, then I'm like, no, like this is my life. 100%. I'll figure out a way to go to the moon. I'll fucking travel the solar systems. You know, I'll reproduce with the fucking T-Rex, and it'll be my baby. It'll be my baby Rex, and we're gonna travel the fucking galaxies. And
If you can figure out how to travel throughout different galaxies, I'll give you all of my money for investment.
So I'll tell you what, I think I'd be coming back with more than just a baby T-Rex hybrid. I would be learning all the skills and trades. I'd come back as like an avatar. Be like, oh my god, my dad fucking transcended to a different plane. And I'm like, hey, watch this. It'll be like what's in Paul when he touches their forehead and the whole galaxy and they understand everything. I'll just come back poking people in the head. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
I mean, if you're spending 400 years in space, that would be way more time on Earth.
Yeah.
It'd be like...
Well, it depends on where I'm at. If I'm at the moon, it's same time.
No, it's even like it goes faster the farther you go out from
the moon's not that
system.
far.
The moon is very far from here. It doesn't look that far, but it is.
The moon orbits the Earth, so the time difference between us here and the moon, dude, is not like 400 years here isn't going to be like 1,000 years on a moon. It's going to be very similar. If
He's
not
Googling it.
I know he is.
How did you know?
Because we can see your brain throttling. It's not enough compute.
It's a little faster. 57 microseconds faster.
Oh, so you're wrong. You're welcome. Welcome to the fucking world. That's right. See, guys, I can talk about, alien reproduction, and I could beat the school system.
And dinosaur reproduction.
And dinosaur reproduction. Can't leave that one out. I think I kind of wish we had more time for this episode, so we could dive into it a little bit more
about animals.
Maybe. No. Maybe we could talk about that another time. Like, dude, we could have like a weird ass episode. Hey, nope, never mind. Not even gonna fucking bring it up.
Good job.
It's gonna be terrible. Ian, thank you for coming on, and it means a lot. And I want you to know that I am incredibly proud of you, and I love you. And it's an honor to see you growing up to be a young adult and not a kid anymore. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Aside from the horse thing.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about the horse Rizzler.
All right. Patrick, any parting words?
Yeah. I thank you, Ian. I haven't actually met you,
You
but
actually have.
I have.
Yeah, he came to bring your child to work day.
I know, but I don't think we've met. And I went to your
You should, man.
house the last day you were in Colorado because I got that TV from you.
Right, you did. Forgot
But I
about
think
that.
all the kids were sleeping because you guys were getting ready to hit the road at like 2 a.m. or some crazy shit.
It was like 4:55 is actually when we pulled away, and 4:58 is when we pulled onto I-25.
You haven't
Why
been
do I
back
know that?
since, right?
Huh?
You haven't been back since, right?
No.
And how
Nope.
do you know that?
I don't know that.
You said
Wait.
4:55 and
Oh,
4:58.
because that's just it's fucking ingrained in my brain. Because I looked at the time. I'm literally pulling onto the highway, and I looked time was 4:58. Why? Don't know. That was important, apparently. My brain's like, hey, you know what? You want to learn something? And it's like, no, 4:58. We're good. That's all I need to know. Well,
Yeah, I guess going back to your point, that would have been an interesting conversation to have with Ian too, like his experience in the camper for 2 years.
well, maybe we'll have you back again.